Hi, this is Erin from Blossy Bee. Welcome to my channel. The plan for this video is to create a trinket dish from a flat silicone mould using partially cured polyurethane resin. I'm going to experiment with a new double-sided colouring technique for polyurethane resin as well. Well, at least I've never seen anyone do it before. I've been thinking about shaping cast items into other items lately, and I've got this gorgeous little dish, this little Royal Doulton one, which is now I guess a family heirloom, and I love the shape of it, and I was wondering if I could use polyurethane resin, colour it with some mica powders, and then push it into a mould the dish to just try and get from a flat mould more of a dish shape. So I'm going to try that. I've really got no idea how it would go, and I'm going to use my A1 Pigments, and these are an Australian company, and I made little samples of all of them, and I don't necessarily want to go glittery, but I thought I could do some maybe pinks. So anyway, look, I'll have a look through. So there's Chrome series, Chameleon series, Diamond ones. So maybe I'll do Chameleon for the first one and we'll just see how it goes. So I've got green, blue and violet, and then green and red. How about that? Green, blue, violet, green, red, and mauve green. So those three have all got green in common. It doesn't really matter what I use because it's an absolute experiment for the first one. I'm going to just put a piece of paper towel down while I'm doing the dusting on of the powders and see how it goes. Okay, now I've got the main colour down. Or the main two colours. I'm just going to fill in any back that's not done with this one. Now, I don't know how thick I'm going to be doing the sides as yet, so I'll just make sure I go around the sides. However, I could always use a chrome marker or similar when I've finished to fix up any edges that don't look right. So I don't think I have tried this technique before with polyurethane resin. I really can't remember doing it at all. So normally I colour the polyurethane resin, and if I wanted a sort of a multi-tonal effect, I would make a couple of little batches up and marble them that way. So this will be very interesting. All right, it's really quite pretty. I'm just burnishing this in really well. Okay, and then I need to think about what colour I'm going to tint the polyurethane resin. You more than likely won't see that through this, but the cast surface, which will be this, is the one that I'm going to be pressing down, but I still would like the underneath to be pretty. And I don't know how polyurethane resin would work with something like this, but guess what? We're going to find out. Now, I don't think I need a lot because we've got, so that's just annoying me a bit there, but it actually, for the purposes of this, it won't matter at all, because what I'm going to try and do is catch it before it's fully hardened, and then I'm going to protect the bowl with some plastic and then push this down into that. So, a bit exciting. Okay, now this is 1:1 by volume. And perfect. So I've got equal parts of A and B, and I'm going to be using solid solutions. This is, sorry, I've wrecked the top and I shouldn't have. Emerald Paradise, which is a metallic pigment paste, and I'm going to give that a good stir, and then I'll drop that into there. Now, whatever colour you think you're getting, it's going to be a much more muted or washed out version, because this product cures a cream or white, and so that is going to dilute the colour dramatically. It's looking really pretty though. And then, there's always an and then, after I've poured this, I thought I might attempt to use this bronze pearlescent pigment powder and sort of sprinkle a little bit on the top. So that will end up being the base, just to add a bit of interest. I don't even know if it's possible, and this could be a huge disaster, but this is a tutorial channel and I'm always learning and love learning, so you know, give it a go. Okay, open this one up. Nice brand new bottle, and I need to think about what technique I'm going to use. So I've got a few different options there for applying it and maybe swirling it a little bit. And now I'm nervous. Okay, so just make sure I've got that pigment off the side. Pour this one in here. So once the two meet, I have around about 60 seconds of stirring time, and you'll start to feel the cup get warm in your hand. And because we've already mixed the pigment into part B, that's going to make it much faster for mixing the two together, because if you waited until you had part A and part B together, it could be too late. Now this is starting to warm up, looking good, and we'll get this in. Now I don't want it too thick. Okay, and I did have a little extras mould. Sort of hard to know if that's going to be too thick, too thin. Okay, and now we'll have a go at adding some pigment powder. Okay, it's still quite liquid, so the pigment powder is clumping together just a little bit. Oops, I went down and touched the bottom. That could be a very bad thing. Did it again. Yeah. All right, hopefully that just adds a little bit of interest to that side. Now that, whilst I said that wasn't an issue, annoying, I do that and then pop something on it. Okay, so we'll see them lightening considerably. So put just a teeny little bit of that in there. I see I've ruined that one. Well done, Erin. Beautiful job. That's how fast it cures. Snip. Okay, I'm just going to check this. I think, oh, I'm a bit worried I might have left it a bit long. That's so pretty. I'll go with the original plan. Yeah, I think I've left it too long. It's such a shame. Oh no, hang on. It's still got some movement in it. Yeah, I'm wondering if I heat it with a hairdryer, would that make it worse? No, I don't think I've got anything left to lose now, have I? I've missed the time. Don't think it's happening. So I'm never going to get a little flat bottom, although definitely feel like that's about as good as I'm going to get it, and it's not very good. Okay, I think I need to learn from this one. So what I'm learning is I absolutely love that technique for the back. I love this holographic finish as well. That's just beautiful, and I need to work much faster next time. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stop for a few minutes, check the timing on my phone of the video, and I think part of the issue was that I was expecting this to lighten quite dramatically, and it just didn't. I think I was looking at it to see if, you know, the colours were changing, and it didn't really happen. So, okay, not the worst experiment that's ever happened, but not the best either. Now these edges, as you can see from my gloves, are a little sharp. So I'm just going to let this keep curing for a while, and then I'll go and review the video and then come back and try again. Okay, I am able now to say that this piece I did not take out until 19 minutes after I poured it, and that was just too long. So I think what I'm going to do is set a timer and start checking at 10 minutes and then go in 1 minute intervals after that. So I'll do another batch. Okay, I've got those two measured out, and I'm using about 2/3 of the amount I did previously, and I'll get the mold. And I really did like this effect, so I'm going to do that again just quickly. Now I'm thinking I might try doing the third coat, or the one where I filled in all the gaps before, with this bronze. I'm not going to worry so much about the edges, because I can see that doesn't really matter. I'm going to make sure that I get that all coated. That is so beautiful. Gosh, if it looks half as good as that, I will be thrilled. And should I try a different colour, or should I just stick to what I know looks amazing? Because that is just so gorgeous. I think I'll just stick to it. Okay, just mixing up that pigment paste before popping it in. And again, it's gone into part B, and it's more like a real science experiment when you don't change too many variables, isn't it? You really want to keep some things consistent so you know what works and what doesn't. Okay, now mix the other part in. So my goal this time is to have a thinner layer, but if anything happens, it's not going to be the worst thing, but I definitely think the time is the most significant factor. Okay, now that's sitting up because it needs to be weighed down, and I'll just make sure I've got last little bit, and then we'll get our pigment. Yeah, so that'll be fine once I weigh that down. And we'll do exactly the same as we did before. Whoops. Okay, and then we'll just try and swirl that around and break it up a little bit, get it to the edges. It's very hard to do this without touching the bottom, but I don't think that the touching the bottom really affected the last one. Let's try and break up any clumps of the bronze mica powder. Okay, there's a little bit there. Needs a bit of a swirl in. And we'll do the paddle pop stick trick again. This time, one bit there, that there. Now, I'm going to look at the time. Okay, I'll be checking it at 10 minutes. Okay, it has been 10 minutes. So let's just have a little look. It feels very soft and it's not coming away from the mold. So I'll come back in about another 2 minutes and check. Okay, we're at 12 minutes and it's lovely and pliable, but it is not coming away from the mold. Okay, another 4 minutes. So this is 14 minutes. Try and demold it quickly. Oh, that is so beautiful. I love it. Okay. Oops, pop that down there. Now, do I want... I'll do that one as the inside. Oh, that's totally different to before. Totally different. I'm always worried about my fingernails gouging. Right, let's have a look. That's going to stay. Maybe not. That's just, anyway, I'm not using it, so let me have a think. Now I've got a dent in it. Okay, I'm just going to try and do this manually. my fingernail into it and it left a mark. So now I'm going to try this way. I've got a flat base. If I can get a shape I like, I am prepared to just sit here for 10 minutes or so to hold it. Don't like what's happened there, but I don't think that's anything I can influence right now. No, you're right, Di. Come in.
The first page is done.
Oh, Jack, that's ridiculously beautiful. Gosh. Should put that on penmanship porn on Reddit.
I'm definitely going to scan it and display as a trophy somewhere.
Look, I think I'm just going to let it sit like that. Just have a look. It's cute because it's got different edges up and down, but it's basic circular. Might just sit that there because then worst case scenario and it starts easing up. It hasn't got very far to go. Okay, I'll be back in what, 10 or 15 minutes and just see how it's going. I'm just absolutely entranced by that texture of the mica powder onto the pigment paste and loving that too. Okay, I've let this sit for nearly an hour and time to have a look. Well, that's good because if it didn't come out, I would have been very worried. All right, I'll just set that over there and I love it. Wow. Can't even see where I got my nail in there anymore. Which, oh, maybe there. That is so beautiful. I just love that. It looks like, we used to call them little pin dishes. That is just so beautiful. That is incredible. Alright, I'm going to have a look and see if I need to tidy it up at all. And then I'll see if I've got a bronze marker to match this beautiful colour in here. And then I can do the outside. So that's both of them. And that's the two different outsides, which are just gorgeous. I'm so excited. All right, now I'm wondering if I could actually use that mica powder and mix it with, say, polyurethane varnish and use that to go around the edge, because that way it would absolutely match. Or would I use the green pigment paste? I think I'll go with that. Actually, I just think I'll use the top of one to start off with, because if I don't love it, I can wipe it off. So this is the Solid Solutions. It's part of the Professional Mediums range, and it's the Polyurethane Gloss Varnish. Okay, I'll give that a try. So I just found one of my little, I guess I designed for a little makeup brush that it's about the right width. And we'll just see how it goes. Okay. Well, that's pretty. Okay, I'm going to cover this with some plastic wrap, and then I'm going to come back and do a second coat in a little while, and hopefully it stays looking that pretty and glossy, because it's gorgeous. And I love that it now exactly matches this. Okay, I just took this out of the plastic bag. Actually, I just used the one that the bowl had been in, and it's as fresh as a daisy, so that's good to know. Let's give that a little stir. I cleaned the brush with isopropyl alcohol. Oh, it's looking really good. Okay, so that's all done now, and I just can't get over how pretty it is. So yeah, I think this could be a great technique for people to use. So epoxy resin pigment paste and mica powder, and you know, painting the mold with mica powder first. So let me know if you try it. I'm really happy I could share this technique with you, and I really can't wait to try it again. I'm sort of thinking I've just got more experiments to do and try some different colours and things like that. Here's some photos of the items. So this one's the first one I made that I left too long, but I just think the colours are magnificent. So this was the one that we used the 3 different chameleon powders on. And then here is the second one I made. So this is the one that I was able to demold a lot sooner and eventually push into a little Pyrex dish. And the back on this one is just stunning. So the same chameleon powder, but with that all over bronze mica powder. And of course I asked AI to style these for me, and we've got a little catch-all dish or tray that would, you know, sit in your hallway and have your keys and things in it. And then we've got the little trinket dish just set up exactly as that, for just your rings and jewellery and things like that on your dressing table. I really appreciate you spending this time with me. I love being able to share my crafting and creations, and always enjoy hearing your suggestions, your feedback, and just general comments. It makes me feel much more connected with you. This is a little update. I'm walking 100 kilometres this month of June for people impacted by breast cancer. It's called the Big Bold Walk, and my goal is not within sight, but within reach, I'm quite sure, as I have hit 50% of my target today, and it is day 6. So I wonder what I could achieve by the end of the month. Thank you to everyone who has shared their support for this with me. And if you would like to donate and support research into breast cancer, I will leave a link in the description box to the fundraiser. And thank you again. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.